Welcome to another episode, and I think it might be number 27 of the 30-second prayer, living the life you love one moment at a time. 30-second prayer that changes everything. That's important. Living the life you love one moment at a time. So when you hear the 30-second prayer, you might think, you mean a 30-second prayer? That's all I got to pray? It's almost like a slot machine. Put it in, get success. But that's not it at all. It's a short and powerful prayer, yes. Takes less than 30 seconds to pray, yes. But it also takes a submitted heart. Now that 30-second prayer, let me tell you what it is. One day at a time, remember? Father, I commit this day to you. Cause me to think the way you think, so I know what to do. There's something I need to do. First of all, I have to trust and commit my day to God. That takes a goodly amount of surrender. Saying, I don't want my own will today. This is my plan, but I'm submitting it to you because I know you have a better plan and you'll work with me in what I decide to do, but I want to be totally submitted to you. And that is not a slot machine kind of prayer. That is a submitted heart kind of prayer, and it takes practice to submit because we're used to doing things ourselves. Or perhaps we're maybe even have a little bit of a willful attitude, like, leave me alone, I can handle it. But God wants us to work in tandem with Him because He's got the good plan, the best plan. And yes, He gives us a free will. He says, you make your plans. Proverbs 16:3 says, roll your works upon God. Commit and trust them wholly to Him. And your works are your plan. He wants you to make a plan. He wants me to make a plan and then submit it to Him and really trust Him that and ask for His input so that we can truly reach our destination. At the end of our day, we want to be amazed at how well everything went and how when we came upon things we didn't know, we said, God, cause my thoughts to agree with your will. Give me your thoughts. What's the answer to that question? What's the solution to that problem? What should I do? What should I not do? Yes, it's a 30-second prayer that takes less than 30 seconds to pray, but it comes from a submitted heart and a heart that trusts God. And like I've said before, we're not going to trust God if we don't know that He has our best interest at heart. So that's why we went through the month of December looking at all the scriptures about the goodness of God and how He can be trusted. And I'll put that in the link to that resource in my website below. It's a one-sheet document. And here's what I'd love for you to do. Go to the dollar store and buy 5 Valentines and send a Valentine to your friend and insert one of those documents in, because they're gonna, somewhere along the way, they're gonna need to know that. Or if you don't want to do the Valentine, just share the document right from my website and said, thinking of you today, thought you might enjoy this, or make copies for your small group. Make sure everybody gets one, because there's going to come a time. There has already been a time when we go, God, where are you? Do you really care about what concerns me? Those are questions we might ask. And teach your children how loving God is and how caring He is too. Begin when they're young, and be sure to teach them the 30-second prayer, because if you can teach your child to work in tandem with God, in partnership with God, in all of their decisions, they will have so much easier time as they grow older and have more complex things to deal with. Okay, to roll our plans upon the Lord means roll them off of you. Make them, but then roll them off of you and let God get involved in them. We think we know what our day looks like, but how many have ever, as a parent, you've gotten a phone call from school and your child is sick and you have to, that preempts everything. You have to go pick up your child and spend the rest of the day being a parent to the child. Everything you plan to do is on the back burner, but yet you have things that were important, so you can say, Father, I still roll that no matter what comes up today, I roll my plans upon you. Cause me to think the way you think. Help me to know what to do. And we're almost at the end of the day, you'll still be amazed at what God can do, even when we have these unexpected things come up. Or maybe in the office where someone, we've all been there, when the whole day did not go as planned. But in the midst of it, you can say, God, cause me to think the way you think. Help me to decide what to do according to your plan and bring him in on it. And so that's why we quiet ourselves in the midst of every circumstance, so that we can, when things come up that we don't expect, we quiet ourselves and say, Father, what would you have me do? How would you have me think? What's the answer to that question? What's the solution to that problem? And we can bring God in on every single day. Psalms 139:16 says, and I almost tell you this every time because we need to be reminded that God planned every single one of our days before we were even born. He wrote them in a book, the Bible says. I think it's in the New International Version. It says he wrote every single one of Karol Horken's days in a book even before she was born. So why would we not consult the book? Why would we not consult God? Because we do know, according to 1 Corinthians 2:9, eye has not seen, nor has ear heard, nor has entered into the heart of man all the wonderful things he has planned for those that love him. And then Isaiah 55 says, his ways are higher than our ways. But read on, beyond that. He said, but come to me and I'll show you what that is. I want to share my thoughts with you concerning what your day looks like. So he's not keeping it from us. He's keeping it for us. So if we are intentional about letting God lead us, we will end up in a good place at the end of the day. You know, don't we, when we're putting a jigsaw puzzle together, we look at the lid where the completed picture is. And then we look down at all the pieces, and those are all the moving pieces of our day. I got to do this, I got to do that. Maybe it's not even work. Maybe it's like, I need a rest day. I'm going to take a nap today. You know what? I plan that. A lot of the times I just say, today I have got to rest. Today I haven't been out with my friends for a long time. Today I need to get out. Today I'm going shopping. Today I'm going to meet with a friend. You know, so it's not just work related. Because God works that into his plan for us too. He wants us to be well-rounded. And so if you're a workaholic, this is a wonderful prayer to pray, because he will lead you into a more balanced lifestyle. Or if you're a workaholic and your spouse needs you and you haven't been there for them or been there for your kids, he wants to work all of that in so it isn't a burden. So the more submitted our hearts are, the more God is able to cause us to flow from one thing to the next with ease. But if we have a willful heart and say, I can handle this. No, I want to do what I want to do. I don't really want to trust God because he might tell me to do something I don't want to do. That's being willful. We have to be to the point where we say, God, this is your day. You've given me this day. Here's my plan. What do you think? And you will be amazed if you aren't already. And he gave us each a free will. And so if we do decide to be willful, then he just folds his hands and waits. Because he didn't design us to be robots. Just whatever button he pushes, that's what we're going to do. No. He designed us to have a free will so we could come freely to him and submit freely to him, give our heart freely to him. That's what he really wants. And so sometimes we blame God because he's not involved in our lives and he didn't show up when we wanted him, but we didn't ask him to come either. In fact, we might have even said, I can handle this. And then when it goes wrong, God, where were you? You know, that's not really fair. So he didn't want robots. Proverbs 28:26 says, those who trust their own insight are foolish, but anyone who walks in wisdom is safe. You know, I don't know about you, but I want to feel safe. And if God is using the word safe in the Bible, in Proverbs 28:26, and there's a way I can be safe, I want to do that. And I'm responsible for me. And I can't push it off on anyone else, but I can be safe and project that strength to other people and let them know they can be safe too. Let my children know they can be safe. And if we need wisdom, James 1:5 says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. Again, he's not keeping it from us. He's keeping it for us. So what does commit and trust look like? It's rolling your works upon the Lord at the beginning of your day, asking for his thoughts concerning your plans, saying, God, what do you think? Here's what I'm planning, but what do you think? And then be mindful of him throughout the day. Ask him questions. Trust him for the instructions. Talk to him. And then be still before him so that your heart can hear what he has to say. And then move slowly through your day. We don't have to sit on a chair and say, I need to hear from God, so I'm going to sit here till I do. You know what I do? Is I say, God, what do you think about that? And then I begin moving through the day and what I think, but my heart is always submitted to him. You can interrupt me at any point. I want your plan. So again, we said that submission and committing and trusting takes practice. So we have to be careful of that attitude like, well, I'm just going to handle it. Because praying the 30-second prayer, it's not a selfish prayer that says, I want to be successful. It's the most selfless prayer, one of the most selfless prayers you can pray. Because you're saying, not my will, but yours be done. I want you more than anything. So not my will, but yours be done. And so that's the beauty of the 30-second prayer. He made it concise. He made it short. He made it rhyme. He made it so a 5-year-old could memorize it and begin to put it to work in their lives as they're going off to preschool. Pray it in the car. Father, come with me to preschool today. Let me think your thoughts. So it'll be a great day. And begin to teach your children young. But let's not think we, at our age, are too sophisticated not to go back to that 30-second prayer. So I'm glad you were here today. I'm going to put the link to my website below. If you haven't gotten the book, the 30-second prayer that changes everything, you can order it from my website. If you're local to Omaha, I have copies on hand, and I would be glad to sign one for you and make sure I get it to you. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Just search my name, Karol Horken, Karol with a K, or otherwise you can go to my website and all the videos are right there. My website designer and manager keeps me organized that way, making it easy for you because He knows we all have busy lives and we want to be as efficient as possible. So God bless you all, and I can't wait to work together again. Let's just come together in community so we can hang out together, so we can learn together. I love that, and I hope you do too. God bless you all. Bye-bye.